Hey guys, 22 Plinkster here. I owe you guys a huge apology, especially you rimfire rats. For years and years and years, you want to see more CZ rimfires on my channel. Today is that day. I guess probably the last time you guys saw a CZ rifle on my channel was probably about 10 years ago. I did a video with Iraq Veteran seeing how far a 22 is accurate. And at that time, my CZ 452 Ultra Lux was the most accurate 22 that I own. CZ has always been known for their accuracy. They make really, really good target rifles, but this 457 here in front of me is actually one of their match rifles. So let me go over some of the details of this awesome little setup. All right, first and foremost, I guess what stands out and what's a pink elephant in the room is this chassis, okay? This is an MDT ACC chassis, and they created this for the 457 for you to be able to train on a rimfire, and you can train on a centerfire just the same, because they make this chassis for centerfire also. So you can actually train, just some trigger time on this setup much cheaper than you can a centerfire. But it does have a raised cheek piece right here that you can micro adjust. This foam right here is like velvet on your cheek. It does have a length of pull adjustment. Me being 6'6", a taller shooter or a shorter shooter will love to change this length of pull. So I'm glad this is incorporated into the chassis. And this grip right here. This grip comes straight out of the box at 90 degree, but you can adjust it depending on how you want to use it. It has an Arca rail there on the bottom, and you do have your M slots all over this setup. Now, the cool thing about CZ is that they make a target and a match. This rifle, again, is their match rifle. It's a 24-inch barrel threaded 1/2 x 28. I have my Banish 22 suppressor on there. But if you receive this rifle, you will not get a rail with it, okay? I had to order this rail from my friends at Evolution Gunworks, EGW, and they sent me the rail for this 457. This is a really, really nice rail, but if you do purchase this rifle, know that you're going to have to buy a rail also. But CZ is known for their accuracy, and they are known for their reliability. They have one of the coolest bolts. It's a double extractor on this bolt, and they just shoot. They shoot really, really well. The only thing that I didn't like out of the box on this setup, it wasn't bad, okay? But in my opinion, it's not the greatest. And if I wanted to set this up, I wanted something a little bit better, was the trigger. The trigger comes out of the box 2.5 to 5 pounds, and you can adjust that. This being a match rifle, I want a much lighter trigger. I'm not going to be hunting with this trigger, so I'm only going to be shooting this particular firearm for the bench, so I can get away with a much lighter trigger. So I called my friends over at Timney. They sent me a 1-pound Timney trigger, and immediately my groups on this rifle shrank from about 2/10 of an inch. So a lighter trigger really helped me hone in on those groups. So I've got some targets downrange. We're going to go over some more things on this rifle, but I'm going to shoot a couple of groups at 100 yards with this particular setup. So here we go. All right, I'm going to load 5 rounds of SK rifle match. I've tried Eley, this SK, I tried Federal Gold Medal Ultra Match, and some Eley. So I've tried 4 or 5 different kinds of match ammunition through this. Since this is a match rifle, I want to shoot match ammo through it. So I've got a target set up downrange at 100 yards. Let's see what kind of groups we can do here. Take this lead sled down. Yes, I'm shooting off a lead sled because this is all about the rifle, not about me. I'm trying to take all the human factor out of it. Oh, I see a bug on my target. It's so tempting right now to shoot it, but I won't. Man, this rifle is so quiet. The bolt is smooth. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. I was trying not to talk. I had about a 0.4 inch group going on, and I yanked one high. That's usually the story of my life. I sat down on the rifle a little bit too much, but boy, that was a really good group. And then I said, hey, let's just like pour all the fundamentals out of shooting on that very last shot. Let me load up another 5-shot. That was a really good group I had going on. And that's typically what this rifle can do if I can do my part. Yeah, the lead sled takes about 90% of the human factor out, but it doesn't take it all out. Man, I had such a good group going on. All right, see if I can replicate that. All right. Adjust this just a little bit. That one went low. It could have been me. That's a really good group. Now we're not going for bullseye, we're going for group here. That's a 1/2 inch group. All day long, 1/2 inch group. So this is those two groups minus that one last shot. And I'm thinking it was me. I have put 800 to 900 rounds of slow fire, different kind of match ammunitions through this rifle. And that's typically what I'm getting. It's usually between 0.4 and 0.7. Every once in a while I have a larger group, and I think that could be with wind, it could be me, it could be my cant. If you shoot enough rimfire, you shoot enough rifles anywhere, you know that every once in a while you'll get a larger group, and it's usually you, okay? Or it could be your cant or the bedding. So, but those groups, that is typically what I have been getting. Now, I have gotten better groups. I got a 0.32 at one time, but that is about the average. But now I have going to put a target downrange, one of those new Caldwell Know Your Limit targets. And those targets, usually you want to shoot at 50 yards, but we're going to shoot it at 100 yards and see if I can run that whole target. So I've done it before. Let me see if I can do it again. All right, before we get to shooting, I retrieve my target downrange. Look at these groups. Those are very respectable groups. Besides that one, dirt moment I had and had shot high a little bit, the rest of those groups are 0.4 inches. That is really, really good at 100 yards. I've got a magazine loaded up right here. I stole this out of my CZ452. I think this is a 10-round magazine. And I've got a Caldwell Know Your Limit target downrange. These targets are usually supposed to be shot at 50 yards in competition, but I've got it down there at 100 yards just to make it fun. So they range from 2 inches all the way down to 1/4 inch. But before I shoot the targets, on top of here, I have a Mueller optic. This particular one is an 8x32 target scope. It has a really fine crosshair with a little bitty dot right in the middle. So this is perfect for bullseye shooting, silhouette shooting. It does have your side focus, but the thing I like about it most is your turrets and your travel is in 1/8 inch increments, not 1/4 inch. So you can do some really fine dialing on the scope, and for like 280 bucks, it is a kind of a no-brainer if you're on a budget. So I've got my trigger cam on here now, and according to looking at the picture on my phone, this is pretty dark. So hoping I can lighten that shot up a little bit in post-production. So, all right, let's try with the 2 inch first. The first shot is actually the most important because you can see where you need to hold, and that was dead on. Right where I was holding. A little bit smaller now. Perfect. Perfect. Now they start getting a little bit more challenging. This target right here is probably about the size of a quarter. Nailed it. All right, this one's probably about the size of a nickel. Nailed it. All right. This is where it gets really hard. Oh, nailed it. All right, I think this one is 3/8 of an inch. Can hardly see it with that prairie dog behind it. Nailed it. I did hit it. You see it moving right there on the edge. All right. Can I go perfect without missing? 1/4 of an inch. Check my cant. Perfect. I just cleared the know your limit target with this rifle at 100 yards. I think there are 8 targets up there, but I went perfect, didn't miss. Guys, this rifle is a tack driver. Yes, it's a little expensive, and yes, it looks heavy, and it is heavy. Without the optic or this trigger cam or the suppressor on here, it's 6 pounds. So once you add the scope on here, the rail on here, suppressor, and your trigger cam, you're looking at probably about 10 pounds. But this rifle is not made for squirrel hunting, you know, lagging around the woods or anything like that. This rifle is made for competition and driving tacks. Guys, thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions about this setup whatsoever, put them in the comments below. Until next time, y'all be safe and keep blinking.